The first season of Star Wars Ahsoka is over. Despite being bad for the first 6 episodes, the Filoni faithful were scarfing down Dave Filoni's cooking. Episode 7, not much happened, and some were turning on the show. That left us with the season finale, which potentially could make or break the season. Here is my review for the Season 1 finale of Star Wars Ahsoka. Part 8, The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. More Filoni plagiarism, ripping off the Chronicles of Narnia. The episode opens with Morgan Elsbeth getting a Night Sister power-up and the Blade of Talzon.
Do you abandon your old life for this new one?
Yeah, why not give up your old life? What is there to really give up? What was a typical day for Morgan Elsbeth? She was just a communist SJW crying on Twitter who got MK Ultra'd by the Night Sisters. Ezra is putting a lightsaber together. Hu Yang has parts lying around, but he also has kyber crystals?
But where would Ezra have gotten the kyber crystal for this blade? Hu Yang must keep a drawer of kyber crystals handy? I just think it's a bit odd because Hu Yang, of anybody, would know that the Jedi pairing with their kyber crystals is a sacred process that determines how well the lightsaber channels their connection to the Force, but, you know, whatever.
But yeah, whatever. Typical shill response. Anything that doesn't make sense, whatever.
You know, whatever.
And their fans buy it every time.
Ahsoka became afraid that Sabine was training as a Jedi for the wrong reasons after what happened on Mandalore. At the time, Ahsoka felt that if Sabine unlocked her potential, she would become dangerous.
Oh no, Sabine! She's going to turn to the dark side and kill everyone! She's going to go full Vader and unleash her power! Oh no! We can't train her! The writing in this show continues to get worse. Sabine has a very low midichlorian count.
I have known many Padawans over the centuries, and I can safely say your aptitude for the Force would fall short of them all.
Hu Yang says she would not have been accepted at the Jedi Academy. She has the lowest potential he's ever seen. Ahsoka and Dave Filoni ignore this. Ahsoka takes Sabine on as an apprentice and drops her because she's afraid of her potential. That if she reaches her potential and turns to the dark side, it could be a major problem. How can Ahsoka be afraid of Sabine's potential if she never had any to begin with? Probably the same reason she started training her, because she's stupid. Why did she want to train someone with no potential? I know the Sabine Sims are getting big mad, fuming watching this video. Hey, George Lucas made this very clear. Everyone has the Force, everyone has a different midichlorian count. Midichlorian count is directly correlated to potential. There's a lot of fake news going around about George Lucas. You may still be whining and crying as I'm explaining this very thing to you. I'm going to dedicate my life to destroying the Knight of Melvin. How dare he talk about my pretend girlfriend Sabine Wren? She's so sexy. I hate Melvin, but I love his empowering haircut video because I'm a Sabine simp and I just love her so much. That's why I joined the Filoni faithful, because Josh's clickbait about Ahsoka turns me on, but not as much as Sabine Wren. These crybabies are buying into the fake news. Everyone could be a Jedi. You just gotta train. You just need 1 hour of Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope plagiarized training, and you're ready to go. You're saying midichlorians don't matter. Essentially saying potential doesn't matter. Yet Ahsoka is afraid of Sabine's potential. How do we measure potential? The midichlorians. But you said they're useless. The fake news around George Lucas confirms it. Are you incredibly triggered now? Are you going to click off the video? Prepare yourself. We're only beginning to rip on Sabine. 2 TIE fighters attack our non-canon heroes and they have terrible aim. Then Sabine Wren pulls a Rey Skywalker and takes out both of them at once. That looks a lot like The Last Jedi. How's that for Filoni cooking?
Please tell me you used fresh tomatoes.
They were canned tomatoes. Come on, that was a joke.
Thrawn will be leaving soon, and our non-canon heroes decide it's best to just approach head-on. I mean, Christ, we're running out of time to wrap shit up here.
Ezra! The gate! Sabine, help out!
Ahsoka needs help to open the door, and she asks Ezra. Then she asks Sabine? Sabine, help out! We all know the root of this problem is Dave Filoni. Ahsoka has to be one of the dumbest characters ever. She starts training Sabine to be her Padawan, to learn the ways of the Force, but she has an extremely low midichlorian count. It's so low that the Jedi Order would have never accepted her. But Ahsoka is dumb enough to take her on as a student. Sabine has never successfully used the Force. Ahsoka knows this, and she's asking Sabine to help out here. She's asking like she expects Sabine to be able to do something. Oh, I gave her 1 hour of plagiarized Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope training. That should be enough to assist here. They are able to enter, and Disney Thrawn is looking more like an idiot by the minute. That is because it isn't being written by Timothy Zahn. All episodes were written by Dave Filoni, the wolf sexual. The night troopers are shooting at them, and they're just swinging around their lightsabers like this is the lightsaber training in the Galactic Star Cruiser. The Night Sisters resurrect the Dark Troopers.
Who cares?
Everything with the Dark Troopers directing, cinematography, choreography is all terrible. It's as lifeless as the Dark Troopers itself, and there's no stakes here. The episode didn't end perfectly for our non-canon heroes, but you know no one is in real danger. Sabine saves Ezra.
Nice moves.
She's been training.
Oh really? Sabine has been training. We know she's been laying around Ezra's apartment for the last 5 years. She got Reva'd, she had some terrible lightsaber duels with Shin, but as far as training goes, we just had 1 hour of plagiarized Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope training. So Sabine hasn't been training at all. But she's got nice moves according to Ezra, and Ahsoka said she's been training. So let's forget all the facts and eat Dave Filoni's garbage cooking.
She's been training.
You're lying through your teeth.
I am not lying
yes,
through my
you
teeth.
are. You can't even tell me the truth. Do you know why?
About what?
Because you don't know, and you're a fucking joke.
Morgan Elsbeth stays behind because Thrawn's plan is failing badly and because she's a total loser. Comes all this way to a new galaxy just to be left behind?
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
We have a 3-on-1 here. Ahsoka should be able to handle her alone, but you got 3-on-1. Ahsoka says you need to get Thrawn. How about the 3 of them attack Morgan and kill her quickly? Then all 3 can continue to Thrawn. How long would this take? A minute or 2? No, but they decide to split up. Ahsoka takes herself out of the Thrawn game and fights Morgan Elsbeth. And the 2 other idiots move on and of course completely screw up. Ezra and Sabine are getting their ass kicked. Sabine is getting choked out, and all of a sudden, the Force turns on for her, just like Rey Skywalker. She's able to pull the lightsaber to her and stab him Last Jedi style. Dave Filoni ripped off Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi. And it gets much worse. Sabine is tapped in. She feels the Force and can use it at will now. They need to get aboard Thrawn's ship. Ezra can't make the jump. Sabine suggests for him to jump and she'll push with the Force. And Ezra just goes along with it. And Sabine, who couldn't even move a cup a few episodes ago, is able to perform a major Force push. Sabine Wren is Rey 2.0. Her abilities are very comparable to Rey's in The Force Awakens. They just turn on and she could use the Force. Combat skills have nothing to do with this. Rey could use a staff, Sabine had some sword training, abilities in the Force. The training was non-existent for Rey, and 1 hour of plagiarized Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope training for Sabine. I don't know how anyone who claims to hate the sequels, who hate Rey, is defending Sabine Wren. They are very similar characters. Their Force powers are ridiculous. Then there's the group of people that believed in the George Lucas fake news that were okay with Sabine being a Jedi if it was slow moving, if there was a lot of training involved. What are they saying now? There's been no training, and this low midichlorian person is using the Force at a Jedi level. I want to know, are these people mad and calling out this show?
You just forget. It goes away. That might be hard to go away, but in time it'll happen. Okay. That's what I'm gonna do. You're just gonna forget about it. Never happened. right?
Yeah, forget about training. You know it's really not that important at all. Disney Star Wars doesn't think training is important. Disney Star Wars doesn't think midichlorian counts, which measure potential as a Force user, is important. Any dumb bitch with an empowering haircut can just force pull a yellow lightsaber to them and be a Jedi. I thought it was incredibly stupid in 2015. What the hell is Anakin Skywalker doing in the Jedi Academy for 10 years, learning the ways of the Force? He still didn't know everything. Then you have Rey come along and take out a guy with Skywalker potential, a guy who was trained by Luke Skywalker himself. Rey was able to defeat him with no prior training. First time ever using the Force, and Dave Filoni loved it. He shilled hard for Rey at the women's conference. It is not surprising he made a character just like Rey. Sabine Wren is Rey 2.0. Sabine goes back to help Ahsoka. The bad choreography continues. Right here, there's 4 troopers. All can take a shot at her. They just wait for her to turn around and kill them. Meanwhile, Ahsoka and Morgan are fighting to the death, and I'm just not paying attention. I'm still laughing at how stupid Sabine Wren and her Force powers are. People actually think Dave Filoni is the savior of Star Wars. Ahsoka then slices Morgan and she dies. Apparently, getting sliced in the stomach is more deadly than getting stabbed in the stomach, because she died instantly. There was no doubt. The troopers are chasing after Ahsoka and Sabine. They jump off the building and commit suicide. No, it's just Dave Filoni plagiarism again, ripping off Back to the Future.
Nice shot, Doc! You're not going to believe this! Dave Filoni created Rey 2.0!
I don't believe it!
Thrawn's terrible plan ends up working. He leaves and everyone died or was left behind, except Ezra. But that's what you get with a watered-down Disney Thrawn. He takes off into hyperspace. The energy from that should have destroyed Ahsoka's ship, but it didn't. Instead of flying around and looking for a space whale to get out of this galaxy, they just decide to go back to Peridia and mate with the crab people. Perhaps Ezra constructed some ancient Jedi texts, revealing many positions to use with the crab people. I mean, I don't know what else he was doing on the planet. Balin's skull literally traveled to another galaxy because the Mortis gods were calling to him. He finds the Mortis god statues. We're likely getting a season 2 of this show, so something has to happen here where Balin is standing. I'm just wondering why Ezra didn't notice anything. He was there 9 years. He didn't once venture out. He didn't feel the Force on this planet? I guess the only thing he felt was the inside of the crab people when he was mating with them. Shin, I guess, will be whoring herself out to the jobbers that Sabine handled easily on her own. Oh, that's a real powerful alliance. I wonder what you'll be up to in season 2.
I don't know. Who cares?
Shin was a character all the shills and Filoni faithful loved. She got no screen time in the finale. Ezra makes it back and decides to walk out in a stormtrooper outfit because it's funny. I'd only personally find it funny if they killed him for being an idiot. Then the episode ends with Anakin Skywalker, nostalgia bait. His Force ghost appeared. That alone might be enough for fans to give this episode a stamp of approval. Star Wars Ahsoka Season 1 was trash. This season finale completely failed. It didn't even feel like a season finale. It felt more like a mid-season finale. The entire season we've been wondering what Balin Skull's plan is. At this point, I don't even think Dave Filoni knows the plan. It has something to do with the Mortis gods, and why should any fan care? They had 8 episodes to tell a good story and they couldn't do it. They spent 3 episodes building up Sabine being Ahsoka's apprentice, which led her to becoming Rey 2.0. There was some bad lightsaber duels. They had her stabbed in the stomach and live. It took them 5 episodes to make it to the new galaxy, and all that happened was Thrawn and Ezra left, switching spots with Ahsoka and Sabine. Oh, and there was Anakin Skywalker nostalgia bait. Even Star Wars Sexplain didn't like this show.
I definitely have thoughts and frustrations about the finale and how everything ended, but I also had so much fun watching it. First time Ezra sees Hera in 10 years, she points a blaster at him, and they don't even get to hug? That seemed like such a muted moment when it should have been powerful. I guess that happened often for me in this episode. Moments that should have made me pump my fist just kind of happened. The writing and direction just didn't seem confident in what this episode actually wanted to say. Some big moments fell flat for me. I am walking away feeling a little frustrated. There were so many teases that are clearly going to be followed up on eventually. Fortunately, like I said, it still made for a completely engaging episode. I was invested the entire time. I had so much fun watching it.
Season 1 was trash. Season 2 will be garbage. Be mindful. There will be people out there, shills like Josh from Den of Shills, who will try to hype this show for season 2. They will say anything to keep you engaged and keep you hopeful. And when it doesn't deliver, and it never delivers, they aren't held accountable. Then they rinse and repeat. The Knights of Melvin have been saying it for a long time. Disney Star Wars is trash. Disney Star Wars is non-canon. At this point, I'm not sure how this show will impact the fandom. I've seen people denounce Disney completely. I've seen Sabine Sims continue to praise the show. One thing that is certain, I will continue to lead this movement to avenge Star Wars. I am growing stronger in the dark side every day, but I need more knights.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.